Welcome on Easy Learning. Now, today I am going to start a new chapter, Chapter 10, the story of English drama. Previously, I explained the story of poetry in the world. So before explaining this part of the chapter, I will just read them as usual for the audio purpose, for the pronunciation purpose, and for your purpose. Because before explanation or anything, you need to just read the word exactly what it is written, as much as it is possible, which will help you in future a lot to understand the language on a very high scale. Because today you are generally going to understand English if you are the new beginners of the English, but in future it will help you to understand English in different parts of the world, whoever, wherever, and in whatever condition someone speaks, you can understand once you understand the sound, the accent, or the proper meaning of the words. So without wasting the time, I am going to read this chapter. Chapter 10, the story of English drama. Introduction. The word drama comes from a Greek word meaning thing done, and the things it does, as with acting, create a world apart, a world modeled on ours. The two words drama and play are synonymous, but in our country, the word drama is more popular than the word play. Drama is not solely a form of literature, it is at once literary art and representational art, as literary art play is made of words. Dramatic elements: plot, character, dialogue, gestures, scenic effects, music, soliloquy. The function of words or of literary elements in drama will vary. In some plays, the actors are of first importance and the words play a negligible part. In other plays, the words are of primary importance, as in some of G.B. Shaw's plays. The words used in a drama may be either verse or prose, but whichever form is employed, the general purpose of the drama must be served. It has a plot, character, and dialogue. In a play, characters appear and events happen without any intermediate comment or explanation. Drama then offers us a direct presentation of its imaginative reality. In this sense, it is representational art. It is also a composite art. It cannot be comprehended and enjoyed without the help of some external accessories. It is designed for performance on the stage and not for personal perusal. It is designed for representations by actors who impersonate its different characters. Drama thrives on the art of self-detachment. A good dramatist like Shakespeare treats his character with godlike impartiality. In a drama, the different parts of plot or of what we generally call the dramatic structure are known as exposition, complication, crisis, denouement, and catastrophe in tragedy, or conclusion in a comedy. So far as the art of characterization is concerned, the dramatist has no alternative but to make his characters reveal themselves through speech and action. Dramatic structure: exposition or initial incident, complication or rising action, crisis or turning point, denouement or falling action, catastrophe in a tragedy, conclusion in a comedy. Parallelism is an outstanding feature of dramatic design and appears in the form of the reduplication of motives, interests, and themes. The principle of contrast is equally important. The contrast is inherent in the very nature of the conflict, which is the backbone of drama. There are many types of drama. In a tragedy, the conflict terminates in a catastrophe, while a comedy leads to a happy conclusion. Tragicomedy is both tragedy and comedy. Farce means a dramatic work designed solely to excite laughter. melodrama is to tragedy what farce is to comedy. The masque is a form of dramatic entertainment which involves dances and disguises, and in which the spectacular and musical elements predominate over plot and character. Types of drama: tragedy, comedy, tragicomedy, farce, melodrama, masque, one-act play. Story of drama. The story of English drama takes us back to the century succeeding the coming of the Normans. The religious plays appeared in England soon after the Norman conquest. These sacred plays were known as the miracle plays or mysteries. Their purpose was directly didactic. The earliest miracle in England was Ludus de Sancta Catholion, which was performed about the year 1110. These miracle plays increased steadily in number and in popularity. By the years 1300, the miracles went out of ecclesiastical hands. They were adopted eagerly by the trade guides. They were under the general control of the council of the town. By the beginning of the 14th century, all these plays were in various localities of England. In the later Middle Ages developed another kind of dramatic literature known as morality plays, in which the characters were virtues personified, such as beauty, strength, gluttony, and peace. The moralities were in existence as back as Henry VI's time, 1422 to 71. Among the famous morality plays are The Marriage of Wit and Wisdom, Everyone, The Four Elements, The Trial of Treasure, and The Pride of Life. What is known as interlude was also a late product of the dramatic development of the morality play. It flourished about the middle of the 16th century. John Heward was the most famous writer of interludes. Besides the miracle plays and interludes, there were several folk plays of several kinds. The early experiments in play writing are of great importance because they provided a kind of training school for English dramatic genius and did much to prepare the way for the development of artistic drama, which flourished during the Renaissance period. During the period, there was a great revival of interest in Latin literature. English writers went back to the classics for inspiration and example in drama in other fields of literary enterprise. They learned many valuable lessons in the principles of dramatic construction and technique. The first real comedy, entitled Royster Doyster, was written about 1550 by Nicholas Udall. The classical influence upon tragedy was greater. It was under the influence of Seneca that the first English tragedy, entitled Gorboduc, was written by Thomas Sackville and Thomas Norton. The quarter century which followed the production of Gorboduc was a period of great confusion. In the end, the romantic form of drama was established by Shakespeare's immediate predecessors, who were known as the university wits. Arranged roughly in order of time, they were John Lilly, Thomas Kidd, George Peele, Robert Greene, and Christopher Marlowe. Among these dramatists, an important position will be assigned to Marlowe. William Shakespeare collaborated with him and was profoundly influenced by him. To the public theatre of the 16th century came William Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616, as actor, playwright, and shareholder in theatrical undertakings. His dramas are a great river of life and beauty. They can broadly be put under 7 groups: the early comedies, the English histories, the mature comedies, and the Roman plays. The great tragedies of Shakespeare are Hamlet, Othello, Macbeth, Julius Caesar, and King Lear. In the plays of Shakespeare, man occupied the center of creation. He enjoyed free will and became responsible for his destiny to a greater extent. This was in keeping with the Renaissance spirit, which reacted against the medieval fatalism. In intensity of emotion, depth and power of style, these tragedies stand supreme and achieve the high water mark of Shakespearean excellence. English drama reached the highest point in the decade following Elizabeth's death in 1603. Queen Elizabeth reigned from 1558 to 1603, and her successors James I from 1603 to 1625. Thereafter we find the dawn of Jacobean age, which covers roughly the period that follows Shakespeare. The Jacobean drama lost the optimistic and nationalistic temper of the early Elizabethan drama. Ben Jonson, 1573 to 1637, was a learned scholar and the greatest contemporary of Shakespeare. George Chapman, Thomas Dekker, Thomas Middleton, and John Webster were other Jacobean playwrights who had enriched the Jacobean dramatic literature by their contributions. When the restoration of Charles II in the year 1660, all the theatres were reopened in England. Actually, the break between 1642 and 1660 was not complete, for entertainment of one kind or another had continued. Nor were the older writers forgotten. It was in comedy that the Restoration found its peculiar excellence. The comedies of the Restoration age were varied, but it was in the works of the three writers, Atheris, Thackeray, and Congreve, that the one distinctive type, the comedy of manners, was evolved. The drama of the 18th century did not reach the same high level as the novel. Only Goldsmith and Sheridan made permanent contributions to the English stage. The Licensing Act of 1737 restricted the freedom of expression by dramatists and drove a number of good men out of the theatre. The drama of the early 19th century was on the whole deplorable. The prosperous middle-class society had no genuine appreciation of drama as an art. The 20th century showed a talent with which the 19th century could not compete. H. Granville Barker and Wedrenny produced season plays at the court theatre, which brought an enlightenment into production and a discipline into acting. The 20th century produced a galaxy of distinguished dramatists. John Galsworthy based his plays on social problems. His success with audiences in the theatre began with The Strife, 1909, and Justice, 1910. Another great dramatist was George Bernard Shaw, whose career was the longest in English dramatic history, beginning with Widowers' Houses. T.S. Eliot revived the tradition of verse drama in the 20th century. His important plays are Murder in the Cathedral, Family Reunion, The Cocktail Party, and The Confidential Clerk. Christopher Fry also achieved success with verse drama like Ladies Not for Burning in plays which captured London audiences. The theatre had suffered a lot with the war in 1940. Hitler contrived to do what even Puritans had failed to achieve by closing the London theatre. The major theatrical adventure of the post-war was the establishment of a company of the Royal Court Theatre. To the Royal Court Theatre in 1956 came John Osborne's Look Back in Anger, which caught the imagination of a generation. Samuel Beckett, an Irishman, gave a philosophical dimension to world drama through his Waiting for Godot. He portrayed the incoherence and meaningfulness of human life. Harold Pinter, an actor himself, was influenced by Beckett and wrote many plays. His The Homecoming presents a picture of broken family ties. Arnold Wesker's plays are influenced by socialism and the portrays class and the problems of human relationship in our age. American drama. There is a rich tradition of drama in the USA. Eugene O'Neill, Arthur Miller, and Tennessee Williams have presented the vital aspects of the American society in their plays. O'Neill's The Hairy Ape, Anna Christie, Desire Under the Elms, and The Iceman Comte have psychological insight into man's personality. Arthur Miller's All My Sons and Death of Salesman also probes the inner life of the characters. Tennessee Williams' plays evaluate the impact of the American dream on the identity of his characters. African drama. Many dramatists from Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, and South Africa have written plays in English. Wole Soyinka, who belongs to the Yoruba tribe, has experimented with the English language and dramatic technique in his plays. He resents modern civil violence and believes in a sense of justice and universal brotherhood of man. His A Dance of Forest and the Lion and the Jewel have been very successful on the stage. Indian drama. In India, there has been a long tradition of writing plays in English. Asif Korimboy, Asif Korimboy has written many plays and has won acclaim by his The Tourist Mecca. Rabindranath Tagore translated many of his Bengali plays into English himself. His Chitra and Red Oleander have been popular with the audience. Similarly, Girish Karnad, the great Kannada actor, director and playwright, has translated his plays into English too. His Hayavadana and Tughlaq have also been successful all over India on the stage in their English version. Now, in the next parts of the video, I will explain them.